Hey, I'm Dave Clapper.
And I'm Nick Tapp.
We are two of the three members of Taptico Solutions, and ultimately, Nick and I finally have a podcast.
We do. You know, this whole thing, all of it is just to get a podcast so that we can have one.
That's it. And it's easier when you have partners like we have with the studio right here.
That's right. Scooch Media.
Scooch Media.
Scooch.
Right here in the center of Atlanta. I mean, like a block and a half away from the Beltline and Krog Street.
Yeah, right in Inman Park, Old Fourth Wardish area. It's fantastic.
If you want to have your own podcast, you should reach out to Scooch Media, and they will hook you up with a beautiful set and all these really cool tools, except they like breaking mic stands. They broke that one.
Yeah.
That's why that one doesn't match. Anyhow, we are here. The whole purpose of us doing this podcast is really informative, educational. Together as Taptico Solutions, we are a CMO company. You're a fractional CMO, your fractional CAIO company, which is your chief AI officer. So that's what we do.
Yeah. So long story short, if you're not sure where to start with AI or marketing, or you need marketing help, you call us. We come in, just handle it for you.
And we'll handle all your marketing. We've got tons of experience between the three of us. But really what we want to focus our energies on this podcast is really, I'm you in the sense of I don't know a lot about how to utilize AI. I'm just learning. And you are going to teach me.
That's right.
And everybody else who's watching.
Yeah, so Tribble, the third warrior of this tribe, is he focuses more on the AI content side. So how to create content, video, all the things for social media, storytelling, all of that stuff. And I'm going to focus more on the generative AI. So like the LLMs, the Claudes, the ChatGPTs, the strategic stuff, the process, all the things, the operations side of things that makes businesses run smoother.
All right, so I'm 12 years old, okay? And I'm just now learning what AI means. And I'm going to ask you as an expert to explain to me on a 12-year-old level.
So a Dave level.
Yeah, so at my level,
Right.
right?
Dave is huge on MySpace.
Yeah, MySpace. Tell me in layman's terms what we're looking at with this whole movement.
We are looking at a tectonic shift in the way that things are done in this world, not just professional therapy. You know, one of the biggest things right now that kids like Gen Z are using it for, ChatGPT, is therapy.
Wow.
Yeah. So like
Seriously?
serious stuff. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Everything, any knowledge work. So anything that you have to go get an advanced degree for, all those things are, I don't know if they're in trouble if you use it right. The people that don't use AI are going to be in trouble. So we're trying to get ahead of it. He and I both worked very hard for a very long time. We're very busy. And we just so happened our calendars opened up to where we could do this together at the same time. But both of us were too busy to learn this stuff. So we saw a need in the market where we could come out and we could learn all the tools. We have the chops. You know, he started a company from scratch. I built a company up from scratch. We know about building businesses and what it takes, not just on the marketing side, but the operations side too. So we know which tools to look for, right? We're not 20-year-old kids that just came out of college and know how to do it. We have the strategy and the experience behind it. So we know, all right, that's a cool toy, it's a cool feature, but it's not something that's going to impact the business growth or operations, stuff like that. So that's kind of our little icing on the cake is, and Tribble as well. You know, we all come with different perspectives, and we can identify ways that these tools, as they roll out and as they evolved, can really come in and make a big impact.
Explain to my mom, Rose.
She's a great lady.
What ChatGPT means. Because honestly, so I'm thinking my mom is what they call a screen your citizen. So she just does this all day long. So she probably sees, oh, it's ChatGPT, has no idea what that even means. Layman's terms, what is ChatGPT and what does it mean?
So ChatGPT is an LLM. An LLM is a large language model. I don't know what GPT stands for.
Okay, you don't really have to give me the definition of it, but what is it? Like what?
I need to figure that part out.
Yeah.
So it's like Google. She probably uses Alexa. It's like Alexa. So ChatGPT is trained on basically all knowledge that came before it. Up until recently, you didn't have access to the internet, so it was only trained up until October 2023, I believe it was. So anything after that, you didn't have access to, right? So no real time stuff. Now it's got access to the internet, which was a huge shift in what it could do. So ChatGPT is basically an expert on every subject. You just have to know to ask the expert to get what you need. So imagine an omniscient being, someone that knows everything, sees everything, has read everything, is an expert in everything, but that expert is locked away in a dark room. And the only way that they can communicate with you is you tell them how to communicate with you. Does that make sense?
It does make sense. It's like next level. Now, ChatGPT is just like the Band-Aid brand, really, for in the sense of, because I would say that's probably the one people utilize the most.
Absolutely.
But there are others that do the same thing, that do different versions of what ChatGPT does, right?
It's kind of like cars, models of cars, right? So if you want a fast car, you get a Ferrari. If you want a slow car, you get a Lamborghini, see if you're listening. But no, they're really different models of cars, and they each have different talents, I guess is a good way to put it. But the more you use something, the more it's going to learn you. So that's where ChatGPT is really positioned to be kind of the one that sticks around for a long time, because the more you interact with it, the more it learns about you. It's like Pandora radio stations from back in the day, right?
Right.
So the more that you use it, the more it knows about you, and it really can fine tune everything that you need. If you say, "Hey, if I'm visiting Austin, Texas this weekend, find me some Italian that you think I'd like," it would be able to do that. So super cool stuff like that.
Give me an example of a couple other ones that are similar to that are just other platforms. I'm thinking of it kind of like Google versus Bing, or Safari,
which is very accurate.
Yeah.
So Google's got Gemini. Gemini is really good if you work within the G Suite or Google Workspace. So if you're on a Google account, Gmail, all that kind of stuff, I would highly recommend using Gemini, because as it evolves, it's going to be able to search all of your documents that are saved on your Google Drive, all your emails, all your calendar, all that stuff. It's going to have access to that immediately. Claude is one that I love a lot. It's by Anthropic. Anthropic is the company behind Claude. Claude has two different versions, Opus and Sonnet. Those are their models. The model, I'm just going to start spewing stuff. The model is the brain. So when you get into agentic AI and you get into MCPs and all that stuff, the model is the brain that is behind whatever tool you're building out. I just got really nerdy with it.
That's okay. We're going to dumb it down. What really is the difference? Is it just a preference thing, or would you say that some are just more in tune or intuitive than others? When you talk about, and they're called what again? They're called LLMs,
right?
But they're not agents.
No, they're LLMs.
Okay, so all these platforms are LLMs,
right.
Whether or not
they're generative AI is what that is. It generates things. So that is when someone says I used AI to do it, they're referring to generative AI. So AI generated the output that you asked it for.
Is there one that you feel like is the one that tends to be better than the rest?
It depends on the use case. So if I'm working on Perplexity for searches, Perplexity searches the entire internet, just like Google, except it goes out and it finds 20 sources. It cross-references them. It can basically write a research paper for you, stuff that back in the day we were using microfiche and citing all the sources. It does all that instantaneously. It's amazing. For strategy and for copywriting, I like Claude. For operations and teaching, like I will ask ChatGPT how to code something, and it will help. Claude's getting there. They're all getting better.
Okay, so those are just LLMs.
Right.
Ultimately, think of the LLMs as your search tool, right? Like
It's
any information you want to find or you need help, it'll write stuff for you. But there's AI for voice, there's AI for
so
video,
that's
there's
multimodal. That's
okay.
and all these are multimodal now. So large language LLM is large language model. So using language like you would with Google, but now they're multimodal in that you can I can take a picture of you, send it to ChatGPT, and ask where your shirt's from.
No way.
Yeah,
Really?
yeah,
That's incredible.
yeah. I can ask, what color are these panels behind us? What model is this microphone? Will you find it on Amazon for me? How much does this microphone cost? That kind of stuff. So it uses visual, right? So not language. So multimodal is audio to auditory. So when you have ChatGPT just re-released or just upgraded their language model, their voice models, and it's insane. It's like having a conversation right now.
Really?
Yeah.
So it's like when you would talk to Alexa or Siri.
Except
It's much more.
let's do it.
Oh, you can do it right now? Ask him something.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey, Nick. Not much. Just here and ready to chat. How's your day going so far? Anything exciting happening?
Yeah, actually, I'm doing a podcast right now, and we're talking about LLMs.
Oh, that's awesome. I love that you're multitasking. Are you the guest on the podcast or are you hosting? Tell me more about it.
So I'm the guest, and guess who's interviewing me? It's Dave.
Oh, that's awesome. So Dave's stepping into the interviewer right now, huh? That should be a fun conversation. Are you guys prepping for anything in particular or
No,
just
I'm showing off how good you are at talking. So impress us.
Oh, no pressure at all, right? I'll just bring out all the charm and wit then. But seriously, I'm happy to help with whatever you need. So just let me know what you want me to show off.
Okay, well, so we're talking about LLMs, and if you had to describe to a 12-year-old, is that what you said?
Yeah.
If you had to describe what ChatGPT was to a 12-year-old, how would you do it?
I'd probably say something like, imagine having a super smart robot friend who knows almost everything and can help you with homework, tell you stories, or even just chat about random stuff. It's kind of like having a really smart buddy in your pocket.
I love it. How about a 5-year-old? How would you explain yourself to a 5-year-old?
For a 5-year-old, I'd keep it really simple and say something like, I'm like a friendly robot that can talk to you, answer your questions, and tell you
Got
fun
it.
things.
So
It's
I can
kinda
cut
like
you off too, which is great, and you don't get mad at me. How about if we were explaining what you were to a 100-year-old?
Oh,
for a 100-year-old, I'd probably say something like, I'm a computer program that can chat with you, answer questions, and help you find information. Kind of like a really knowledgeable friend you can talk to through your phone or computer.
Nice. Okay, last thing before I let you go. Thanks so much, Blake. You're doing awesome. I named her Blake. So we are doing a podcast now, and Dave here does not know a lot about AI. So the podcast is going to be Dave asking Tribble and myself about different AI tools, and we're going to explain use cases and how to use them. But we don't quite have a name for it. Can you fire off 5 kind of like funny, tongue-in-cheek, punny names, and make sure you include Dave in there as the host?
Absolutely. Let's have some fun
It's
with it.
for Taptico too, by the way, just in case that helps.
Got it. All right. How about something like Dave's AI Dive with Taptico, or maybe Taptico Talks, Dave's AI Adventures, or even Dave's AI Escapades with Taptico. Another fun one could be AI for Dave, Taptico's Guide to the Future, or Dave Meets AI, the Taptico Chronicles. Hopefully one of those tickles your fancy.
Interesting. Well, we had brainstormed earlier. Dave learns AI. What do you think of that?
I actually love that. It's super straightforward and it has a nice ring to it. Plus, it really highlights that journey of discovery, which should be super engaging for listeners. I say go for it.
Cool. Well, you're very nice, and I'm going to show you Dave real quick. Can you tell me what color Dave's shirt is?
I can see Dave's shirt is green. He looks all set up and ready to go. Let me know if there's anything else I can do to help out with the podcast.
What kind of microphone is that he's talking into?
I'm not entirely sure of the exact model, but it definitely looks like a professional Audio Technica.
That's right.
It looks.
Yep, it's a Shure. Anyway, that's all. Thank you so much. We love you. Bye.
So there, I have to be honest with you because I think honesty is important.
It is.
Nick has Nick. This being Nick.
Hey, I'm Dave.
Disappeared for the last year, and I understand why. You don't need friends.
No,
you have your friend right here.
Great.
You
fantastic.
You just
waiting for those robots to come out.
Wow, man. Okay, cool. Whew. That's pretty amazing.
Right.
So, okay, that's to me, it's kind of like that's fun. And a lot of people that I speak to are like, I used ChatGPT to help me schedule a road trip with my teenage daughter, whatever. But how do you see the importance of AI when it comes to actually like incorporating it into business?
I would ask you if you had the smartest person in the world for $20 a month, how could that help you in your business?
So,
see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do. So you're saying, okay, I'm a business owner, and I'm just struggling with marketing. So I just ask her, help me with my marketing.
Yeah,
that's it.
You won't get the best outputs.
Yeah. So outputs are dependent on inputs, correct?
Right. So because she's so good and knows so much about everything we're doing, she knows exactly who you are, because the one thing that these do that Google, like if you go in for Google search, does not do, is they remember your conversations. So the more that you use them, the more their memory expands on what you have, and it gives them more context. So I can reference a call that we had or notes that I had from a meeting we had 7 months ago, and she can recall that.
Wow.
And I can say, hey, this is something that's happening in the business world. How should Taptico adapt to it? Give me 5 options. So the more that you use these tools, I keep saying tool, but they really are collaborators. It's an assistant in your pocket. So the less you consider it a tool, the more you consider it a collaboration, a method of collaboration with the smartest person in the world, the more handy it will be, the more valuable.
So our goal here is on this thing to teach you the basics of what is out there for AI. So we're just starting really at the basics.
Yeah.
I mean, you're talking your LLMs, you're talking just as kind of a recap, the ChatGPTs, Claude, Gemini, Perplexity, Manus, Grok, and then there's next level stuff where you're using a Gamma to help you with PowerPoint slides. PowerPoint, not PowerPoint anymore, but
right.
And there's so much to talk about. So I don't want to talk about any more this episode. Instead, what I want to do is excite people to know that next time we talk, we're going to talk about more tools and how to utilize those tools. And that's kind of the idea here with this podcast. And that's really the idea behind Taptico Solutions. One of the things that you said early on is like, I want to be able to give this information to people. And I'm like, well, why would you do that? I mean, don't you want them to hire us to do that? And what was your answer to that?
You give away the idea and sell the implementation.
And that's what we do with Taptico, is we help implement AI into your business structure, and obviously really focus on the marketing side of things to take and up-level you. I mean, think about it. You're a small business, and now it's like you've got a Fifth Avenue marketing team behind you.
Madison Avenue?
What did I say?
Fifth Avenue.
Well, that was wrong. Well, I wonder why I said Fifth Avenue. Anyway.
I'm sure there's some marketing agencies on a Fifth Avenue. Oh, you're talking about Fifth Avenue, Kansas City.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That's
right next to that barbecue place.
Yeah, the Midwestern marketing hub. Everybody knows that. If you don't know that, you don't know what you're talking about.
Madison Avenue. You got it. But that's kind of the idea. We level up your marketing, level up your knowledge by utilizing 3 professionals to help you do so. Stay tuned for the next one, or check back for the next one. Maybe we'll use Blake's ideas for our name for the podcast, or send one yourself. Or you can check with your LLM, whichever one you use, to see if they can come up with a better idea.
Yeah. There are some good ones. Grok's out there. Grok is really good. It's XAI, which is Elon's one. They're about to launch some stuff. And then ChatGPT is about to come out with GPT-5. So a lot of stuff coming up this month.
There's a lot to teach you, and it's ever changing. So if you're interested in any of this, just keep checking back with us. Follow us on all our socials, our website, taptico.co, taptico.co.
.co, and then at Taptico HQ, pretty much everywhere else.
All right, we'll check you next time. Hey, everyone, I am Nick.
And I'm Dave. What?
I'm Nick, I'm Dave.